Hello movie fans! Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. This is Just a Man and His Movies. My name is RJ. In my first video, if you got a chance to check that out, I just did my top 5 favorite movies to see if your tastes were in line with mine. So this is my first actual recommendation, and the movie that I chose for my very first recommendation video is going to be 1993's True Romance. This is directed by Tony Scott, not Ridley Scott, that's his brother. Tony Scott also directed Top Gun, Beverly Hills Cop, Days of Thunder, several other movies sadly before his demise. But this is a great one. I think this is maybe the second or third best one that he directed. Obviously you have Top Gun and a couple others ahead. So True Romance, it stars Christian Slater. Christian Slater at this time in 1993, he was a movie star. He was one of the biggest stars on the planet, actually, and you can really see why if you watch this film. Also, Academy Award-winning actors Patricia Arquette, Dennis Hopper, Val Kilmer, Gary Oldman, Brad Pitt, Christopher Walken, Michael Rappaport. I believe this is Rappaport's first movie. James Gandolfini, Chris Penn, and Tom Sizemore. If you watch my first video, you know how much I like Tom Sizemore, especially in the 90s. He was a great actor, and he's great in this one as well. So this is a really fun film. If I had to describe how this movie is, I would say it's an adventure movie, but with criminals. Now, not just with criminals, but with criminals with very strong personalities. So what makes this film, obviously Tony Scott's direction is wonderful in this film, but this is written by Quentin Tarantino. I believe this is his first feature film as a writer. I could be wrong about that, but I think that that's true. And he's written all over this movie. You can really tell it was written by Quentin Tarantino. There's a lot of little Tarantino-isms in there. So if you like Tarantino, you have got to check this film out. So what makes the movie, it's his script. So it's the interaction between characters with such strong personalities. So for instance, Christopher Walken is in this movie. I think this is the movie that Walken is really known for. A lot of people may disagree with that, but his role in this is incredible. He has a scene with Dennis Hopper that is, it's one of the best scenes I've ever seen. I will say it's very offensive. I do apologize for that. I don't agree with the content of what he says, but from an entertainment standpoint, it's very, very entertaining. So it's something that you really have to see. So anyway, but if you see Christopher Walken and you see him interact with Chris Penn, you're thinking, oh my gosh, those two are about to butt heads. You know, what's going to happen now? And that's the beauty of this film. You never know what's going to happen, and it's so fun to see characters with such strong personalities go against each other, and how each character is written. They all have their own flavor, sort of like Game of Thrones. The reason why Game of Thrones is so popular is because the richness of the characters, and that's what this movie has in spades. So this is a wonderful film. The running time is right at 2 hours, so I know a lot of people, they're really busy, and 2 hours, that's a lot of time for them, and they want to invest in a quality film. This is definitely one worth your time. So again, this came out in 1993. It's called True Romance. And what I like to do is I like to give my films a grade and then compare them to other films, you know, if other films that other people have heard of and are more popular. So the first one I would compare it to is Snatch, which came out in 2000, I believe. Snatch is slightly better than True Romance. The second one is Pulp Fiction, obviously Quentin Tarantino. That came out the next year, and Tarantino directed that. Pulp Fiction is slightly better than True Romance, but Pulp Fiction is a great movie, so that's no slight on True Romance. And the third is Usual Suspects, and these are all movies that are almost 20 years old now, so 20 years old or older. So The Usual Suspects is also slightly better than True Romance. So, but that is no knock on True Romance whatsoever. Those three are great films. So I give all three of those movies an A-, and I'd say I give True Romance a B+. So that is my recommendation for the day. I strongly recommend this movie, so I would love to know what you all think. If you leave the comments below, I'll get on there and kind of see what you all have to say. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. If you don't, leave it in the comments. Let me know what you didn't like about it, and I certainly am never offended by that. I appreciate when people are open and honest, so that's no problem at all. like I said, these videos are going to be fairly short, so I do appreciate your time. Thank you so much for stopping by. Come back tomorrow and I'll have another film for you. Thanks, guys. Bye.